The most amazing story. Sign. The first 5 minutes you invest in this book will change your life. The most amazing story. Sign. Of course, begin with the words of God.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court, which is without the temple, leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months.
You will be marveled at the true meaning of those words. And
God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and years.
You will know what the signs are and how it looks like, and when is the exact year of creation of all. I promise that you will be marveled at the most amazing story. God hide a thing, secret, in the Bible.
It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter.
Why? Because God wants us to find it. Even if you pour out thousands of car parts on the floor 1,000,000 times, you cannot make a car. One day I made a 7-year schedule table at the end at the 2nd of October 2027. May I call it 7-year calendar table. The period being covered is from 2nd of October 2020 to 2nd of October 2027. I was thinking what to fill up inside this calendar and come up with one idea. Total eclipse and blood moon. Don't ask me why. Chapter 1. The hexagon in the sky. And I filled it up as per below. I filled in with time on each line, and it's symmetric. Order. Interesting, huh? This is the sign in the sky, and it's there on purpose. Remember? Even if you pour out thousands of car parts on the floor 1,000,000 times, you cannot make a car. I know you know who can make it in this universe. He must be God. Who else? For sure. Then why? I assume, if you know Bible well, 7-year tribulation comes up in your mind already. Surprisingly, the first vaccine happened to be on the first eclipse above. The date of total first eclipse is exactly the first shot of vaccine starting date in USA. The 14th of December 2020. Even more, not only the date, exact time when the vaccine was injected in the arm of that intensive care nurse, there was a total eclipse in the sky. The 14th of December 2020 on Stellarium. Interesting, huh? When I was looking at the total eclipse, I read the news on the web at the same time. I even have evidence on my blog. And 6 months later, I found one more hexagon pattern. Between those two tables, the time is exactly 6,000 years. Order. This not a coincidence. He did it in the sky on purpose. Let me give you some background story here.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Please bear in mind this verse for a while. On the 23rd of September 2017, there was a great wonder sign in the sky as written in the Bible. It is very rare as the cycle of Jupiter is 12 years, which is different than others. When the Jupiter reaches at that location, other planets have to be located at that exact location as well. If there is at least one planet is missing out of all those planets' harmony, it cannot be the sign for the God's words written in Revelation 12. It must be a very rare chance to have a same picture in 6,000 years. And later on, I realized that one Christian astronomer in USA had found same picture in the sky on 28 July BC 3974. Revelation 12:1 appears 2 times in the sky. And guess what I did? I tried 7-year calendar start from BC 3974 and filled it up with total eclipse and blood moon again. There it is. One more hexagon. This is not a coincidence. It is exactly same as the first one, including the time period between the angles, even orders of total eclipse, blood moon as well. Twins. Focus. Let me show you the calendar of July BC 3974. I was carefully thinking that a woman clothed with the sun is on the creation day, for that is the first day of solar and planet cycle, and this day is in the middle of 7 days, and the last day is the seventh day, Sabbath.
And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
I know there is no planet in the first day of world, but Stellarium app can show the first day in the sky, so I had a look. Total eclipse. Somewhat I was convinced that this is the creation day, one starting with total eclipse. But this is not over yet. Next day, I found one more. And time period in these three hexagonal figures exactly 4,000 years and 2,000 years. Now, aren't you marveled yet? I was. 6,000 years of human history. The crucifixion might be in the 4:2 ratio of human history. So I went deeper. Dear Bible believers, I know there are many Bible scholars highlight the year of the crucifixion is at 30 or other years. They also research history of Rome, other countries, and tried to match the timeline. What if, however, Satan's touch was there to screw the history? The king of this world is Satan. So, please allow me to go out of box and let me search the Passover calendar of Ad 27, because Jesus was on the cross as a sacrifice lamb of Passover. If Bible records and Ad 27 are completely matched, again, I am pretty convinced with that those hexagon pattern above is God's design. The day of resurrection was evening from the end of Sabbath till evening of the next day of Feast of First Fruits. So, between Saturday evening till Sunday evening, this is the proof words in the Bible.
In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
They found empty tomb, Sunday early morning. Then, let's see the calendar of Ad 27. Are you surprised? Even more, BC 3974, Ad 27, Ad 2027, these 3 years have same calendar. So, came to an conclusion.
And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and years."
As written in the words of God, the signs made with sun and moon is the hexagon, with which I am quite convinced that God is revealing us the most important event in the human history. Wait a minute, here are more. Revelation Decalcomany. Chapter 2. Revelation Decalcomany. For some odd reasons, I made the calendar above with total eclipse and annular eclipse. It looks like a decalcomany. It was perfectly matched left and right, including time and root of eclipse. It will be too long to explain all of them, so I will give you one example. Second symmetry from the top. 1.5 years later in 2024, total eclipse started again from the exact spot of disappearance of total eclipse 2023, and the root is perfectly symmetrical as you can see below. Again, this is not a coincidence. This is an order. Who designed it on purpose? Let me tell you one thing. To find an amazing thing, sometimes you have to think out of the box. Look at the second and third seals where we are now. The decalcomany above is the orders of 7 seals in the Revelation. The war between Ukraine and Russia broke out at the end of February 2022. Due to this war, prophecy of third seal appeared clearly. Third seal, June 2022, June 2023.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and look, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine."
1/3 world exporter for wheat and barley are Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is not able to be farming due to war. On top of that, fertilizer price goes up. Disaster on top of disaster. Wheat 21%, barley 31%. Food shortage is real. Decalcomany is the pattern of revelation written in the sky by God. Now, we are here in June 2022, already entered into the third seal. Following tables are the timeline and events in each seal. Note, Revelation 6 and 14 are twin chapters that complement each other and indicate the order of the 7 seals. This is the chart that puts them together. You may say, rapture is not yet, as third temple not built, or we believers are still here, which to be raptured before 7-year tribulation. Wake up. We are already in 7-year tribulation. The 7-year tribulation was begun with the COVID vaccine, of which entire process has been very suspicious and wicked even. USA first vax day on the 7-year calendar. Have you seen it? So good. The most amazing story in the world is divided into several parts. If you are curious about the rest of the stories, please search the YouTube channel Rami Nard and click subscribe and like. And you have to wake up first, because the Lord is coming soon. Because we all want even one soul to wake up and be saved by the Lord through this video. That is the Lord's wonderful plan and love for all souls.